Today's episode sponsored by our friends at Famous Faces and Funnies located in Melbourne, Florida. Check out their Facebook live auctions on amazing deals. And our friends at PGX Grading Services, the GenX place to get your comics graded and in case, shipping nationwide. Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of Codename U202. Hi, I'm your presenter, Shibu Are You. Now on this channel we've looked at action figures, we've looked at comic books, we've looked at cartoons, a lot of, everything is of course is 80s, early 90s, Gen X era based content. And this episode is going to be a little interesting. We're going to take a look at soap. That's right. I'm sure everyone's familiar with all the promo as we're scrolling through YouTube or Instagram, the posts of Dr. Squash. And they've acquired, to surprisingly, licenses to Star Wars. Of course, we all know Disney and LucasFilms. Hey, if they could slap a Star Wars thing on it, then they damn well sure are going to. Now, the whole thing is that this is nothing new. We've covered stuff because in the past, like as far as products, and earlier I looked at the GI Joe cologne, which is very good. I mean, it's one of the most underrated colognes that I have tried. And I'm one of those old school guys. Like, I still use Dracar. I still use Jupe. I still use Polo Sport. The stuff that we used back in the day to be cool and hip. Hey, I'm still using that shit. And it is good stuff. When they're classic stuff, it's timeless. And no matter all the trends and stuff, you could always go back to old reliable products that are last a testament of time. Now this one, like in that early video, got a lot of views and responses, and that's because at our age, we do have to take in consideration our appearances as men. How you look, whether you're going to a meeting, you're meeting people, has an impact on what you're ultimately selling yourself. So your appearance, your stance, your smell, everything is a reflection of you. So while it may be cheesy to talk about shit like this, I think that, hey, we're in our 40s, 50s, 60s. This stuff is important. So the most important thing is I've switched to using natural soaps, and I did start with Dr. Squash, and I now use other brands because, quite frankly, you get more value with the, like, I think this guy's name is Dr. Boner. I'll put a picture here. I use his soap a lot. Because all of this stuff, the soaps that we buy in the supermarket are all filled with chemicals. And um, my background is I have a degree in econometrics and biological sciences. So I have 2 degrees, kind of right, left brain type of thing. But the fact of the matter is your skin is an organ, so it is a living, breathing thing. So as men, it's important to take good care of your skin and not fill it with chemicals and stuff like that. And also, I'm against animal testing. When you see brands like Suave and stuff, the dollar store, you don't know where the fuck that shit's coming from. Half the time it's a poor bunny is locked, or a poor beagle is locked in a fucking cage and being subjected to all these chemicals. No. I'm not supporting that shit. I don't eat veal, I'm not a tree hugging hippie, but at the same time, I'm a person with ethics and a moral conscience. And switching to these no animal testing products, you're not only benefiting yourself, but another life, and being locked up in a fucking cage like an animal. And everybody knows, like, whether your heart goes out to POWs or any of that, no one wants to be a prisoner. And I think that I would not want another living thing being subject to any form of prison or cruel treatment. So with that aside, Dr. Squatch, I think switching to these natural soaps is really beneficial to the male. I think, our skins have to be tough. We're working out in the yard, working in the office, shitting around the house. And plus, it keeps us feeling younger, makes our skin more healthier. So while it's cheesy to slap a Star Wars label on it, just makes it a little more fun. I've used several Dr. Squatch soaps, and there's 3 different levels. There's a black sand, heavy grit, or no grit, which means they put sand in the soap to give it, to a little friction on your skin to remove the dead skin cells and stuff like that. I like that. I'm in Florida. I take like 2 showers a day, or maybe 3. Depends, especially when I'm out working in the yard. I don't hire, Mexicans to work in my yard. I do it myself. That's my way of relaxing, is going out there, working in the jungle, working in my backyard. So when I do that, I am drenched in sweat and stuff. So I take a shower in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, and again before I go to bed. Usually quick, just military style showers, like boom, boom, 5 minutes in and out. I'm not sitting there singing songs and daydreaming and wasting water. So get the job done, move on. But this video is trying to encourage viewers and fellow Gen Xers to switch to these natural soaps. I think it's really important to do that. And, you could pick this up at Walmart. I know they, when you go to these fairs and stuff, you'll see like $8 for soap. No disrespect to those people, because I know they put a lot. If you're able to, by all means, support them. But for the rest of us, picking up a Dr. Squatch for $5, or that Dr. Boner, that's so funny. His soap, I'll have a picture again, which I use now mostly. They're more reasonably priced, and they do the job, and there are natural oils. Like a lot of these, Act or whatever soaps, Irish Spring, so on, they have a lot of chemicals, aluminum, phosphorus. Look at the ingredients and all of them. It's basically a lab experiment to make soap, So these natural soaps are made with, ingredients like eucalyptus. I like, what was it here? Clay, sea salt, shea butter, olive oil, sometimes palm oil, all the stuff that's naturally occurring. So I highly recommend switching to natural soaps. And let's take a look at this. Let's do an unboxing. So this one says, embrace the exfoliating and rejuvenating powers of black sand and dragon fruit while the spicy, woody aromas consume you. So I'm not going to be careful. So anyway, they usually come like this, like a nice 2x2 type of, or maybe 2x3 square bar of soap. The Dr. Boner's is more of a conventional shaped one. And the other thing is the black soap that you'll see once you go down this path. My wife hates it because you have to clean the bathtub. It leaves like a black residue. So if you're okay with that, black soap is freaking amazing. But that's the only drawback, is that black soapy residue that it leaves behind. And I get yelled at all the time. So I don't buy any black soap anymore, because I get yelled at. Why are you using this? So, but this one, it has a wonderful aroma, and it does when you take a shower as well. It really, I know it sounds wussy, but it's not. It really feels good using these types of products. Anyway, I wanted just to give a little talk about this, because I'd like to change it up, like to present the fellow Gen Xer with alternatives and stuff. Yes, it is based on Gen X era or early 90s memorabilia type of stuff. But in this case, I thought it would be a great opportunity to talk about this subject. Now, Dr. Squatch, I think they're on their second series. They have an Obi-Wan, they have a Vader one. they have this Darth Maul one, and I think they have a Yoda one that's kind of green. And now I think they're branching off into Halo, so they have a Halo edition. All that stuff is bullshit. Like you know that it's without saying it. It's a gimmick, whatever. But I'm just amazed at the business this guy. I mean, I think his story is he had I think he had syphilis or some shit like that, and he couldn't use conventional soaps because the chemicals, you know, when you have that type of skin disease, your skin is very sensitive. So he developed this own soap, and you're talking about like the past 8 years. He went from a dude in his garage making this to now being able to acquire a license for Star Wars, Halo, and selling his products. So that is astonishing. This is fucking soap. You know, he's become a millionaire selling soap. And that is just mind boggling to me. Like, you know, the marketing, the stuff that this guy did is his commercials are stupid, but yet they get the message across. And the business side of me is just so amazed how he went from some dude in the garage making soap to now being a millionaire. But at the same time, like I said, it is beneficial and it's a good thing to switch and to use. I've said that about the old style shavers with the single blade. I'll have a picture here. Instead of buying the Gillette Fusion and all those, where you're spending $20 on fucking cartridges for shaving, the shaving mechanisms that grandpa and dad had of the single blade, the metal thing, and blades only cost $1 to $2. That works. And I have a full beard, so I have to shave every fucking day. So I think that those old school blades will save you money and are phenomenal. Again, you could buy this shit at Walmart. It's not like you got to spend an astronomical amount of money or have to go on a quest to find these things. It's not all for the rich and famous. You know, it's for everyday guys like you and me. Anyway, that is this quick video about fucking soap. And this is Shabu, are you? Okay, so obviously because I did the dark side, I have to show the light side of the force. So we're going to take a look at the only Hope soap. Yes, the Obi-Wan version of this Dr. Squatch natural soap. And this one has 0 grit. But let's take it out and take a look at it. So here we go. We have the bar out. It smells like soap. No, this one is supposed to be oils, olive, sustainable palm, coconut, shea butter, natural fragrance, thyme leaf powder, brown iron oxide, mica, clay, and sea salt. Again, no chemicals, and that's one of the reasons why I've switched to these natural soaps. But yeah, I like the Darth Maul version. But it's kind of funny. We have Obi-Wan and Darth Maul pitted against each other, even in soap form. So that's kind of cool. But again, this is not that bad. And the only reason why I got this one is because it's on clearance in Walmart, and you know, I think that's kind of cool. So this is the Obi-Wan. We already looked at the Darth Maul, and only fitting that we matched up these two. And again, it's not these particular brands. I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm making fun and making light that they're, you know, pop culture theme. But the fact of the matter is, I really do think that as men, we should be using these natural soaps. And like I said, that Dr. Boner one, some other brands, just stuff that's not filled with chemicals. I highly recommend you guys to switch as well. But this is just fun. You know, it's nothing, there's no harm if you like these. But again, it's just amazing how this guy is a millionaire when he just started this not too long ago. Anyway, that's with that.